On the 8th of March 2026, at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, India defeated New Zealand to lift the T20 World Cup. A match which was watched by over 350 million people, which was played in the world's largest cricket stadium. 19 years after the tournament that started it all. A spectacle of packed stadiums, billions of dollars, celebrity owners, and technology that would have been unimaginable 2 decades ago. We take all of this for granted now, but 19 years ago, the men who ran cricket didn't even want this format to exist. They thought T20 was a circus, a gimmick, a distraction from the real game, an accident which was waiting to happen. They were right, but not in the way they thought. To understand what changed, you first need to understand what existed. In 2007, cricket's economy was modest by today's standards. The entire package of ICC global broadcast rights, covering 4 years of international cricket, was worth approximately $250 million. The BCCI, which was the most powerful cricket board even then, had a total annual income of $250 million. That was everything: tours, media rights, sponsorships, ICC distributions, the whole operation. T20 cricket at the international level was barely 2 years old. Australia and New Zealand had played their first ever T20 International in 2005, a match that felt more like an exhibition than a serious contest. India had just crashed out of the 50-over World Cup in the Caribbean. Fans were burning effigies, sponsors were pulling out, the BCCI was desperate. To put that $250 million number in perspective, that was less than what a single IPL franchise would sell for just 1 year later. The entire global cricket economy valued at less than one team. The ICC had organized this new World Cup format almost as an experiment. Nobody, not the boards, not the broadcasters, not the players, truly understood what they had on their hands. The 2007 ICC World T20 was held in South Africa that September. India's cricket establishment was lukewarm at best. Senior players were rested. A young squad was assembled, led by a 26-year-old captain from Jharkhand who had never led India in an international tournament before. His name was MS Dhoni. The squad that boarded the flight to South Africa was talented but largely untested at the highest level. This was not India's A team, not really. They were there to fulfill a contract. Nobody expected them to stay past the first week. Sachin Tendulkar, Sourav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, Zaheer Khan, India's biggest names were all either rested or unavailable. When the squad list was announced, one Indian newspaper ran the headline, "Who is this team?" The format was so new that broadcasters in several markets declined to bid for rights. They simply didn't believe anyone would watch. The broadcast rights for the entire tournament, this historic first edition, sold for a figure that in hindsight looks almost embarrassing compared to what was about to happen to the sport. Remember that number, we will come back to it. And yet, something stirred in South Africa that September that nobody had predicted. India navigated the tournament game by game. They beat Pakistan in a bowl-out after a tied match in the group stage, a moment that sent the subcontinent into delirium even before the final. They defeated Australia they reached the final. Their opponents, Pakistan. On the 24th of September 2007, at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg, the two great rivals of subcontinental cricket met in the final of a format neither of them had taken seriously 3 weeks earlier. 40 million people tuned in around the world, making it the 10th most watched sporting event on television globally that year. Ahead of it in the rankings, American football, soccer, Formula One, tennis, and a cricket match that nobody had planned to matter. India needed to defend 12 runs of the last over. Joginder Sharma, a bowler so unknown that many viewers had to ask who he was handed the ball. It was an almost incomprehensible decision. The last over, the World Cup final. Misbah-ul-Haq was on strike. He hit a six. Pakistan now needed 6 runs of 4 balls. The subcontinent held its breath. And then Misbah tried the scoop, a ramp shot over fine leg, the kind of shot that wins matches and ends careers in equal measure. He had almost done it. Almost. Srishant settled under it and held on. The silence lasted exactly 1 second. And then the noise was unlike anything South Africa had heard at a cricket ground. India won. Dhoni lifted the trophy. It wasn't just a trophy. It was a proof of concept. The BCCI realized that the 3 hours of fast cricket could generate more attention than 5 days of test cricket. And somewhere in the boardrooms of Indian cricket, something clicked. The accident had just produced the most valuable blueprint in sports history. Within months of India's victory, the BCCI announced something that would change the sport permanently. The Indian Premier League, IPL, a franchise-based T20 tournament where city-based teams would bid for and own players through an auction system. In January 2008, 8 franchises went up for sale. Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries bought Mumbai Indians for $111.9 million. Shah Rukh Khan's Red Chillies Entertainment bought Kolkata Knight Riders for $75 million. Vijay Mallya's United Breweries Group bought Royal Challengers Bangalore for $111.6 million. 8 teams, 1 auction. A combined total of $723 million before a single ball had been bowled in the league. For the first time, Bollywood stars and industrialists were sitting in the same dugout. And then the broadcast rights. Sony and World Sports Group paid more than $1 billion for 10 years of IPL television rights. This was the moment cricket stopped being a sport in India and it became an asset class. Cricket had never seen numbers like this before, not even close. Compare that to what the ICC had received for 4 years of global cricket rights just months earlier, $250 million. The same sport, a completely different universe. What happened next was not a slow burn. It was a rocket. In 2017, Star India paid $2.55 billion US dollars for just 5 years of IPL broadcast rights. A 158% increase from the previous cycle. In 2022, those same rights sold again, this time 6.2 billion US dollars for 5 years. To put that in perspective, the cost per match for an IPL game in 2022 was 15 million US dollars. By per match broadcast value, the IPL had become second only to the NFL in the entire world of sport. Think about that. A league that plays only for 8 weeks a year, suddenly rivaling a century-old American institution. Not just cricket, all sports, all leagues worldwide. The BCCI today receives approximately 38.5% of all ICC annual net earnings, around 230 million US dollars every year just from ICC distributions. Every other cricket board receives single-digit percentages. The Indian cricket economy now accounts for between 70 and 80% of the entire global cricket economy. The IPL was the virus that changed the DNA of the sport. In 2007, there were 0 franchise T20 leagues in the world. Today, there are 10, spanning India, Australia, England, South Africa, the UAE, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Caribbean, Sri Lanka, and the United States of America. Cricket in America, that would have been unthinkable in 2007. Private equity firms now own teams on 3 different continents. Players are choosing franchise over country. The power has shifted from the boards to the owners. For smaller cricketing nations, T20 was a lifeline. Afghanistan, Ireland, Nepal, nations that could never sustain a full test cricket program. No infrastructure, no funding, no tradition of 5-day cricket. They found in T20 a format where they could genuinely compete. Afghanistan went from a nation ravaged by war with no cricket history to a T20 World Cup semi-finalist in under 2 decades. That is not a footnote, that is a transformation. But that transformation came with complications. Test cricket, the format that had defined the sport for over a century, entered a long existential crisis. Scheduling became harder. Some of cricket's greatest players began choosing T20 contracts over international careers. The 2007 accident didn't just change the game, it broke the old world order of cricket. On the 8th of March 2026, at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, India lifted the T20 World Cup again, 19 years after that night in Johannesburg. Different captain, different squad, different era, but the same format. The same 20 overs, the same format that nobody believed in. The tournament that began as an experiment in 2007, the one the BCCI almost didn't send their best players to, is now the most watched cricket event on the planet. Hosted on home soil in the world's largest cricket stadium in front of a nation that treats cricket as a religion. Today, the IPL as a league is valued at 18.5 billion US dollars. By 2031, it is projected to cross 25 billion. The most valuable franchise, Royal Challengers Bengaluru, is worth 269 million US dollars today. In 2008, they were bought for 111.6 million. The opening weekend of IPL 2025 alone clocked 49.56 billion minutes of watch time, with over 253 million viewers. In 2007, the T20 World Cup final was watched by 40 million people globally, and that was considered a milestone. Today, a single IPL weekend dwarfs that number many times over. We look back at 2007 as a lucky night in Johannesburg. But to an observer of systems, the perspective is different. It was the night the market finally found a format that matched the pace of the 21st century. The accident was simply the world catching up to reality. And it all traces back to one evening in Johannesburg. One unexpected result, one young captain from Jharkhand, one trophy that nobody predicted would matter. This was The Far Observer. The stories that changed everything and the ones nobody saw coming. There are more where this came from.